Okay, so by now you've probably seen a bunch on Apex Legends Season 20 breakout videos are starting to show. The embargo has released. We've played it. I've played it, and I have a lot to say about it. Not only that, though, there are massive changes. Things that probably sound foreign and sound like, is this even good? I'm going to walk you through all of that. In fact, we're going to walk through all of those changes right now, not only so that I give you my opinion, having been a part of it, played it for many hours, but also so that you can tell me your opinion, because this is not a swing at me. This is not a swing at ranked grinders. This is not a swing at pros. This is a swing on the entire FPS battle royale genre. Will people engage in this game with these changes? Apex has made a big move here to try to say, yes, they will. And I have to say, this could be paying off. Let's walk through the changes. I will give you a big update as well, and hopefully answer all of your questions here. It's going to be a longer one, but again, I try to make complete videos, so you can come here and get all the information you need. And February 8th, when gameplay launches, you'll actually be able to, if you like this video or subscribe, see that gameplay right fresh off the presses when the embargo is over. So February 8th, we will be releasing that video. Okay, so let's get into the overall change. I know when you look at Apex, you always try to go to, the patch notes. The patch notes are not here yet. So this is basically an update. This is an update note of major themes happening in it. They mention things like armor, which is changing, legends, which are adding, I'd say, over 80 different choices now that you can make for your legend in-game, combined of all the legends. You've also got new items, new rare items. You've got a brand new mode that does something that's never been done in Apex Legends before, and I'm very excited about that. And changes to ranked that I think are going to get people very, very happy. And it's probably not being the most, I think, avid ranked grinder is going to have me playing ranked next season. That's true. This season's called Breakout. They have a great video. This is just kind of a teaser. The gameplay releases later on this week, so stay tuned for that. But before we do legend upgrades, I think it's more important to talk about armor, because this is the major change that is going to change the way that you shape your Apex Legends gameplay. So body shields are no longer in the game, okay? They're no longer, let me say this again, no longer in the game as a lootable item. You will start with a shield, and you will level that shield up, that armor up, by doing actions in the game that give you basically points. Your first level will be 500 points to go from level 1 white to level 2 blue. Your next will be 1,000 points to go from level blue to purple. Your next will be 1,500 points to go from level 3 purple to level 4 red, which is over 125. It's 125 shielding plus your health. It's the max amount of health that you can have in the game. Now, what makes this interesting is, one, the question of armor swapping, which I'll get to, and two, how do you earn those points? There are different ways to earn points, and it's not just getting kills. It's not doing that. So let's first break down this concept of armor swapping, because I think this is quite important. People are used to seeing other armors on the ground, and you have a blue, there's a purple right there. So let me grab the purple, right? I want to fight. No, that is not how that will work anymore. What will happen is these armors that you find in a death box will not be called armors. They will be called cores. Okay, so vernacular aside, your armor is the thing that you naturally have. A core is a thing you will find. Okay? The reason it's a core is very important, because it will overcharge your current armor at whatever level it is to the armor of the core you find. Let's say you kill a player that has a red Evo shield and you have a blue. You will, like usual, grab their core and, like usual, have a red shield, but it will not last. It will not change your overall shielding, and it will just give you a red shield for 30 seconds or until it's obviously used up. Then it will go back to your normal level of shield capacity, which in this situation would be blue. Now, maybe that sounds weird. It sounds odd. Think about it like this. If you're going to armor swap, you got 30 seconds to use that value. Otherwise, let's say the fight's over. Now you're back to your blue. You've got to now do those actions to get up to the level 3 in purple and then level 4 on your own. That is how you're going to progress through armors now. You cannot find an armor. You cannot win one fight and grab red Evos. You are going to have to do things along the way to do it. What this means, and what I've experienced, is that in some of the final circles, And this was a smaller lobby that we played in with content creators and press. Some of the smaller circles actually ended up having a lot of blue and purple armors rather than purple and reds, because a lot of people get to final zone without necessarily doing a ton of damage or a ton of actions. And thus, yes, were punished, but also the entire lobby had a lower time to kill. So in one way, this solves some of the questions of Apex is a hard game to play. It takes a long time to take someone down. Well, it will only take a long time if someone is actually doing all of these actions, which I'll mention right now, in order to get a red Evo. If you're not doing all those actions, you might get to end game and still have a blue or still have a purple. It's going to be much more realistic to see blues and purples instead of purples and reds in end games now. Quite an interesting thing. I think this helps the casual audience, and I don't mean casual bad. I just mean people who play Apex for fun. They're not grinding ranked. They may be solo queue, maybe play with their friends. They're not trying to be pro. That's what I mean casual. A gamer. First people, then they might play another game another night, come back to Apex on a Friday night. So here's another important thing. So let's talk about how you earn Evo points. I want to see if I can bring some of these stats up for you. No, that's legend upgrades. Can I show you a little bit of these Evo? Oh, yes, perfect. Cool. Okay, so I've got that ready to go, and I'm going to go back to this. So there's two ways to earn Evo points outside of these actions. One way is a brand new loot legendary item called an Evo cache, okay? So this is a personal cache that will now drop in care packages, and you might find it in a supply drop, and they'll be in like the vault, very rare places on the map. This will give you basically 1,000. I believe it is 1,000 and may actually be a full upgrade in terms of your next level of Evo. So this is one of the ways you can do it. Another way you can do it, and this only affects you. Another way you can actually upgrade your Evo is by something called an Evo harvester, which you can see in this image. Now, these harvesters, after you land, are suddenly, after a few minutes, going to be active in the map. Any player can go and activate and deal with them. Some players will see certain harvesters on one area of a map. They'll be active for people to go and run to, and other teams can interact with them as well. If you go to one of them, like you got crafting materials in previous patches of Apex, you can then get 400 immediate shield. So remember, I said a white shield to go from white to blue is 500. You could basically get your blue right away if you find one of those. Okay, so now the bigger question, which is how do you, in general, get your armor to increase? Well, here are the exact specific things to do. You can increase your personal armor by dealing damage. You get the amount of damage that you deal in terms of a level up. So if you want to get to purple, you have to do 1,500 damage. Okay, active damage if you only want to do damage. Now, you also get bonuses for knocks and assists, okay? Also, knocks against the legend of a higher level will net an underdog bonus. That is 100 for the underdog bonus. So if you're shooting, if you get 3 knocks on people who are all higher level than you in terms of Evo, 300 bonus points for that, and 100 for each knock. Finishers, I don't know what they are. I didn't even try it. I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, that's risky. That's got to be at least worth 200 if you finish somebody. I don't know, but finishers will get you extra bonus points and the Evo cache, like we had mentioned. Now, for the team, your team can also gain points that everyone takes advantage of. So if you get a squad wipe, that's bonus points. If you revive someone or you are reviving, I believe it's 150 points per revive, whether you're on the receiving end or on the reviving end. Respawning also gives you a benefit. I don't know what that is. We didn't get a respawn in our games yet. And also the Evo harvesters, like we had mentioned, give you 400 for each member of your team. So that's a big aspect of it. Class interactions, scanning survey beacons, scanning ring consoles, and also world interactions like doing the Bloodhound trials or killing spiders. Those will also give you team-wide bonuses. Now, this is very, very new. This is interesting. This is going to change the game. You're going to feel like it's different. And in a way, I think Apex needed to bring that difference into this next phase because that's not even close to the most different thing that is happening this season. It's not even close. Like, we've seen armor changes before. It was weird sometimes to drop, with a weapon, or it was weird sometimes to drop with armor on. And we've had all of these changes. Nothing like this. Nothing like what's coming up. Because what's coming up, it took a second. And I got to say, I'm glad it took a second, because it's something that your body has never seen in Apex. It's just you're not used to it. So let me show you what it's going to look like when you open up your new UI. Now, you may notice something in the top left corner that's just different. What is this? What is this mysterious progression through armor? So this armor is your starting armor as usual. But when you hit level 2, you do those 500 points that we had just mentioned. There's like 2 things right here. So what is this? 1 and 1 and 1. It look like choices. Well, they are. They're choices that impact your abilities. You also get choices when you level up to level 3 that impact your abilities, that either add new components of your abilities, such as healing, such as doubling the size of them, reducing the cooldown, changing them completely. I mean, these are either game changers, or sometimes they're duds. I will say some are duds. I'll give you an example as well in just a moment. But most of the time, they're massively powerful adjustments to your character to make them better and to make them overall, I think, more exciting and more interesting to play. The deeper element of this is the progression that comes with these choices actually ends up being, I think, game defining. And overall, it also instinctively gives you and the designers more choice in how you play and customize your legend, which I think for any gamer, for me, I mean, I like MOBAs, I like all these things, hero shooters. I played a MOBA called Heroes of the Storm. Many of you have probably played that or heard of it before. It was made by Blizzard. This is how you would progress through that game. You would pick an ability and kind of go down the path as you leveled up. Like, what ability do you want? What passive do you want? It was a choice of one or the other. This is what you get. So, Evan, like, talk to me about this. Let's focus in a little bit about this, because what does this mean for how we're going to play? What does this really look like on a character? Well, let's go into this. I did a tier list before. I will be doing a tier list video, and it's going to be very, very long. I'm telling you, I recorded what it looked like from the beginning to the end of these legends. It took me 50 minutes, and I didn't even get done recording. Just not even talking about them, just recording the simple footage of what you look like with going one path and the other path. I mean, there's so many different varieties of what you can do, and what does it mean for what's the choice? It's really insane, the customization that's going to be possible. But let's take a look, for example, on a legend like Bangalore, who right now I had mentioned is an S tier legend. Let me see if I can find her. So Bangalore has 2 choices when you go into the design that we talked about. Her first choice from Bangalore, for example, is she can see ordinances. She can see ordinances in like Loba, like through her stealth, and she has the ability to do that. The other one, so I mean that's kind of good, right? I mean, the fact that she's got the ability to like see ordinances, she can kind of tell where they're in death boxes through walls, so she's gonna know where a grenade is. That can be valuable. The other one is 25% cooldown on her ult. To me, I'm like, that's a no-brainer. I mean, Bangalore's ult is fantastic. Why would you not just take a cooldown? You're just going to get more ults all game long. That's level 1. So the next one, though, is an interesting one where she has the ability to throw her smoke down, and if someone shoots you in the smoke or shoots at you, it pings them where they are, like a mirage decoy does if they shoot a mirage decoy. The other is you heal inside of your smoke. So now Bangalore has the opportunity to make 2 very different decisions. One's personal. I could heal inside my smoke. We're already in the smoke. That's just constant value for me. Or I can get information on where legends are as they're shooting me, pinging not only their location visibly easily for me to see, which could help if you're fighting in smokes and trying to be more aggressive, but also help defensively in a different way. Maybe it'll help you point out to your team exactly where that opponent is as well. All of this, a deep choice. Now, I think those are 2 good examples of like what I would call something that would split the vote. If you ever played Jackbox Party Split the Votes, fantastic game. All you got to do is throw out something that's going to not get everyone saying yes and not get everyone saying no. Someone said you get famous on the internet. I had this one. You get You become super famous. The only thing is the video that goes viral is a video of you XYZ. Would you still want to be famous? And I said, you know, getting robbed butt naked. I don't know. That's what I said. I said that. Now for me, I was like, well, you know, maybe it's okay. I don't really mind that much. I noticed some people though were like, you know, my wife was like, I'm not sure about that. I don't think I need that to live on. My sister felt the same way. You know, it was funny because it was like, okay, well, not everyone's going to think that way. That's the perfect type of decision you should make in these abilities. Now, not every single one has them, but I am saying that a majority of them have very good choices that you're going to have to make throughout the game. And they even include one of these for Gibraltar, which I'll bring up right now as kind of like an upgrade tree choice. Let's look at it here. Big ups. You can revive allies to 40 HP when you get a heal. This one, auto reload shotguns on knocks. Do you know what that means? This means that when you are on your last shot of your PK and you knock someone, you get 5 bullets back immediately. Like you get a full reload instantly on that knock. So another person comes around, pump, knock them back to the 5. Like these are good things, and you're fighting with shotguns in your bubble, but how do you want to play? Well, now I think the interesting kind of concept for me is, do we have games now where big ups is the right game, and then we have a killer handling right game? Do we have content creators able to say, I'm doing a big ups Gibraltar, right? Or I'm doing a killer handling Gibraltar build. Like we're starting to get into the conversation that Apex to me is always cultivated, which is what is the best way to play a legend with abilities? And I've kind of stifled this concept too much because of the idea that, listen, when you have abilities, they're great. They change your play. But when it's an FPS, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You can't really change the fact that if someone's shooting more bullets into your body than you are to them, you can have a million abilities. You could be Willy Wonka. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't matter because they're going to knock you down. This is going to get a full video. Make sure to like this one or subscribe, whatever helps YouTube keep you on the page, because we're going to go through all of these legends. I've got a lot of thoughts. I told you it's going to take maybe an hour at least to go through all of those, and that's cut. But it's going to be the most important piece of information that determines not only just how you play casually, but how you play from a standpoint of your awareness of this new game. Apex has become a new game now. At this point, guys, we are all dropping from our information down to here. This is becoming the new baseline. And if you were here, you're now down to here because no one knows how these abilities are going to work. So the work is going to be done to get back to status quo and excel. And that's going to matter in ranked. It's going to matter in the pro league even more. Who's going to understand what types of characters, when you use the right perks, are going to be the biggest threats? That's exciting. That's fun. That's what I'm talking about. We got something to do here. I mean, this is huge. And it's going to be hard for a second, but it's going to be the fun hard. It's going to be the discovering a whole new world hard. Now, let's go to some other things because there are very important things for me that we need to discuss. One of the other things, going back to this article of the updates going on, is there's a new mode. And the new mode, not ranked, I'm going to talk about ranked in just a second. The new mode is extremely, extremely important. Now, I'm not sure if are they mentioning it here? Where is it? I might just have to bring it up. Okay. So I will bring it up. All right. And we'll go into ranked here. The new mode is a very, very, very interesting mode. It is called Slingshot. Okay. So the concept here is that Slingshot is the first time that you are able to jump into Apex Legends and experience what some of us want to experience at the outset. You know, when we start a game, we have those cheery eyes, that cheery kind of vibe. We have those, you know, it just feels like, you know, man, life is, you know, turning my way, right? And things are finally on the up and up. You know, I could see clearly now. The rain is gone. You know, it's kind of humming in the background. It's not full there. It's a little low volume, kind of background music, but you can feel it. And you get dropped in and you don't get a weapon and you die off drop by being punched. Okay? then crouch spammed, then finished, and then you just quit because you have to just get out of the agony. That's sometimes what happens when you really want to get to in-game. Well, guess what? This new mode, Slingshot, coming to Breakout is in-game. You get dropped in, and the only weapons you can use are gold weapons, blue weapons, purple weapons. They're already kitted. You don't have to loot except pick up a weapon. There's plenty of ammo already. The zone is in zone 3 or 4, and you're in-game. If you ever wanted to practice in-games, but you can't get there, well, hallelujah, you've got an option. This mode caught me by surprise because, again, we were playing with press, we were playing with content creators. I was happening to play with Candy Roo and Girl. Good players and very fun. Candy was doing his own content. Girl's doing different things. I was trying to capture different things. Sometimes it's tough, but the potential of this mode for me, from an exercise and learning how to play in games, mid to end games, learning rotations, learning zone endings, learning tactics that you can only practice when you are in those heated moments where people have weapons, people have shields, and you've got to play and you've got to move and you've got to work as a team. To me, this is the stuff that's interesting. These are the ones that these are the moments that I think sometimes people live for. They try to get to there. Now, am I saying this is going to be better than getting there in an original game? No. But what I found was that it added not only the ability to practice in-game, but it added the ability to stay in-game. Okay, you catch what I did there? Practice in the game, but the ability to stay in-game. I want you to see if you notice this. See what I'm looking at? Look at this. What's happening here? What's going on? What's going on at the top? I'm queued, but I'm not in the lobby. Wait a second. I died, but I'm not in the lobby. Yet I'm still queued. What's going on here? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, in Slingshot, one of the biggest changes is that you can finish the end game, whether you win or lose, and spectate how it ends while queuing up for the next Slingshot match while in game. So you don't go to lobby, you don't reset, you literally just hit next, and by the time you watch a little bit, you're back in the next end game playing again. The gameplay loop of Apex Legends, especially in Slingshot, just got so much faster, so much more, I mean, I dare I say addictive. Like it's crazy how easy it is to stay in a game now. And I think that this, from a perspective, I'm going to give credit to Respawn. I mean, this is a brilliant marketing perspective. This is a brilliant retention perspective. Why not? Why make it difficult for someone to stay in the game? Go with the lobby, see how much you lost, see all the point, and then go in the lobby, then click it again. All you do is just stay in there, click, and you just get your run. And for people who are adults, people who are 25 to 35, who have lives and jobs, not that you don't before or after, but if you're kind of in the mix of maybe starting a family or kids, you don't have that much time, man, talk about maximizing your play. No more looting. You get your weapons. You practice your weapons. You practice your in-game. You get into fights, guaranteed, with 3 players, and you go right back to back to back. Slingshot. It is awesome. Okay. I mean, I hope that has given you guys a little bit of a hint at some of the impactful things that are happening. Another thing before we get into ranked, the replicator has changed. I can't really describe this to you, but I will tell you this. No longer will you have things like a weapon inside the replicator to craft. You're not going to be crafting shields. We now know exactly how shields will be working. The replicator now consists of ammo, it consists of banners, and it consists of shield bats and med kits. This is what it's going to look like. The most amazing thing about this, though, is how fast it is. I'm telling you that it is less than 2 seconds that you get your shield battery from the time that you open it up, do it, and then the shield battery comes back out. It is so fast that you can bunny hop away from an enemy, hit it, get that, have the shield battery come out, grab it, and then keep running away from your enemy. It's really that fast. Like I'm not kidding. It's so insanely fast that I'm like, yo, this is real. I'm gonna try to use these. Now, you cannot use them multiple times in a game, but you can use what I was trying to say is that I believe you can use other ones on the map. So once you use one, it X-nays that for that game, that exact replicator. While your teammates can still use it once per player, but then there will be replicators another place in the map, just like there are with Respawn not beacons, but yeah, you know what I mean, where you can revive your teammates. You can't use it twice, but you can use another one. So that is how that works. One shield battery, one med kit. I don't know if it's double for support characters, but you guys get the drift. That's just another big thing that's going to be changing. Another thing to note is these armor changes are going to take place in the Battle Royale modes. Mixtape modes will not have upgrades and will continue to use body shields this season. The legend changes will still be there, but the body shield changes will not affect Mixtape. So if you still want that traditional style and control, gun run, and TDM, you can go ahead and find that. Another big problem that I feel has plagued Apex, and, you know, I love Apex. I play this game all the time. I make content about this game. I cast this game. There's been such a passionate ranked community, and I know many of you are a part of it. I mean, that's why probably you like some of the content we do that gets into the higher level, that bridges the gap between playing ranked and playing pro and then playing just trying to get good at ranked. Ranked is being reloaded this season, and they've made a series of changes that I think are geared towards really like the community. I really feel that it's geared towards hearing you out, changing things for the better, addressing matchmaking, addressing scoring, addressing kills and bonuses, and also still putting some nuggets on there for people who don't necessarily like to run down games and get 17 kills, but still like to be consistent. So I'm going to read this and let's see if this really tickles your fancy. Let's go there. Okay. With the launch of Breakout, we've decided to make a series of changes, which obviously I just mentioned. Apex faithful will find familiar. The level requirement, it's going back down to 20, and splits will be returning, which means that the season reset will be as well. Each player is going to start with 1 RP at the launch of Breakout. There will also be a split reset, which will drop your ranking by 6 divisions. So wherever you end, back to 6 divisions. Players will receive a ranked tier badge for the highest rank they've achieved at the end of the season across all platforms. Transparent scoring. Scoring will be moving to a more transparent model similar to that of past seasons, placing a heavier emphasis on eliminations over placements. Unfortunate, but that's more exciting. Your hidden skill rating will have no influence on either matchmaking or scoring. Now, this is a big one. So your hidden skill is called your MMR, your matchmaking rating. That is hidden usually, and it means that you cannot see it, but the game knows how good of a player you are based on internal factors of your past performances compared to everyone else's past performances. That will have no influence on your matchmaking or your scoring. So this is a different perspective. The bonus system has also been updated to provide more insight, and player rankings will now be visible. We'll also be returning to an improved ranking system. With these changes, this also means the entry cost will return 20 RP per tier starting at silver. So this will show up in I believe just a second in the matchmaking, so stay tuned for that. Elimination score continues scaling with placements. The value of each elimination will increase the higher your team's place. So if you have 5 eliminations, that will count for more placement points, more RP if you're first versus if you're 12th. There will be no hard cap placed on the number of eliminations per player, and they will and nor the amount of points gained. So this means that you can get a 20 bomb and you'll get points and placement for every single one of those kills. However, after the 6th kill, it'll be worth half the value. So for 14 of those final 20 kills, you only get 7 extra points worth of kills, basically. They'll be half the value. The first 6, though, will count for the full value, right? So that's important to know. It just means that sometimes, you know, you're not going to have to go too hard, but if you do go hard, at least you'll get something from it. And I think that encourages even the highest of level players to keep playing and keep having an interesting game. Also, bonuses. There are a couple of bonuses. Now, you don't get bonuses, again, for placement in the same way that you get for kills, but you can have a top 5 streak bonus, meaning if you get 5th or better, you will ultimately get extra RP. So you get 10 RP per match, you're 5th or better, starting with your 2nd match. 3rd match, you'll get 20. 4th match, you'll get 30. 5th match, you get 40, and that will max it out, which means as you're doing all these other things, if you keep getting top 5s, you may not be getting a lot of kills, but you'll get that plus 40. That's going to help you scale up in rank. A challenger bonus also means if you earn a 50% bonus on elimination of a higher ranked player when you've personally contributed. So you've done damage or you've done something that's provided the assist. This bonus is unaffected by the elimination soft cap of 6 kills. So even if you have 6 kills, but you get a kill with a against a high ranked player, you will earn a 50% bonus on the value of that kill, which is great. So that means, you can climb a lot higher for players who might be ranked higher than you if you're doing well against them. Now, this is the big one. Matchmaking will be based on RP values as closely as possible and will not be using a tier-based lobby like prior seasons. I wasn't really aware of what they did last season. The tier-based lobby, though, again, because I haven't grinded ranked in a minute, someone else is probably going to be a little bit more aware of what that means. We do know what it means, though, in terms of the matchmaking being placed based on RP, which means that you're going to be matched based on someone who's basically your same level in terms of ranked, just the points of ranked. Pre-made parties will also be matched by the highest ranked player, meaning if you want to join your Predator buddy, but you two are golds, you're going to be matched with his Predator ranking. And that is something that is going to be different than being matched with your MMR, because here's the issue that can happen if you're matched with your MMR. If someone is a really good player, but they don't play ranked often, they might get matched in a Predator game as a silver. I'm not a Predator. It won't be that extreme, but you could see platinums and silvers coming in because somebody's MMR might be so high in terms of the way the game sees them that even though they're not really familiar with ranked, they're jumping into these higher tiers of ranked, competing against people who are way higher ranked, feeling like it's unfair that they're in that lobby. And that is because it's their hidden skill that's being the value that they're matching on. Now, and they say this very clearly, I want to point this out, as closely as possible. So it's not going to be perfect. So if you see it happen in your games, don't look at it and go, okay, they lied. Clearly you can't do this completely, but they're making the focus that it's going to be as close to having people who are in the silver tier of matchmaking or gold or in that same RP level of how many points have I gained so far this season. You guys are going to be matched around the same area and keep climbing in or out of different divisions or staying in the same division, which should feel more fair for all of you, which should be good. Let me know what you guys think about that, but that should be very, very, very good. Also, this is another area they monitored that they wanted to mention, which is the tier structure. They've removed promotional trials. They've removed provisional matches. Demotion and demotion protection will remain the same as the season Ignite, which is season 19, the season we're currently on before this. And the ranked tier RP requirements will have some increases. So you might have to earn more RP as you gain through, but now you have more ways to earn RP faster, which is a big deal. Another major thing I want to just say for this, because I know there's a new map, it's Thunderdome. I'm not going to cover this too much. I think this is a gameplay kind of thing. There's a new map there. This will be for Gun Run, it'll be for Control, and it'll be for TDM. Thunderdome is kind of like a revamped version of the oldest Skull Town area, where it was right outside of Skull Town and Kings Canyon. This is now just kind of an arena sky dome version of that inspired. Cool. It looks really cool. I'm excited to play it. Again, if you play a lot of Mixtape, this just means you're getting more variety. Not a major point, but obviously it's always great to have a new map. I extend this for you guys. You can float through some of these if you like. Okay. For people who want next-gen consoles, current-gen consoles, you get 120 hertz output displays to support it. This new setting is in the graphical setting. So if you play on Xbox, if you play on PS4, if you play on, I'm sure, PS5s and Xbox Series S or X, you can now target that 120 FPS gameplay, which is massive for console players who want to take it up that night, get a little bit more competitive with your gameplay, get a little smoother, Hey, baby, look at this. Look at what I got going on here. Is that a little smoother than the last time you told me to get off the game and come to dinner? Isn't this a little bit better? Okay, I was just checking. Yeah. Okay, now tags and the retirement of clubs. Sorry to see clubs are going away. You could still make a tag, though. So I have the rain tag. It could be Storm. I have the rain right now, RAYN. You could still put that on. If any of you guys watch super fans, you could throw the rain tag on as well. or the storm tag, whatever it is. And there's also a 5th anniversary collection event and some new things that they're doing, such as a new battle pass. There's obviously new things happening for people who want to earn legends. If you're someone who doesn't have all the legends, there will be ways to earn I think, legendary flatline skin, as well as 6 new characters that will be unlocked and able to permanently earn based on completing challenges. All of those things and more coming in Season 20. But the biggest deal for sure that I've talked about are the legend changes and the changes to the armor. That is going to change the way Apex is played. I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave a like. Let me know. Never give up. Never stop gaming. I need to hear your comments about this. Stay tuned. More videos dropping for Season 20 Breakthrough on the channel. See y'all next time.